if you are a coffee fanatic like me, you probably already know this cool spot in Poblacion, Makati. But if not, then we'll put you onto something. Commune, a cafe and bar, has sprawled true to its name as a thriving community hub, bringing together people in search for good times and good coffee. Now this morning, we'll get a sip of that goodness from the genius behind the bar herself, Chief Extractor of Coffee and Commune owner, Ros Juan. It's a beautiful day, Ros!
It's a beautiful day. Good morning.
I super love that title, Chief
I know,
Extractor
it's
of
like
Coffee.
some Game of Thrones thing, the Chief Extractor,
First
the
of
House
her
of...
name, no?
Exactly. House of Commune.
So we're looking at our setup over here. Can you tell us all about what you brought for us this morning?
Okay, so today I'm going to be able to brew for you right here using manual brewing method. So this is a dripper. This is an origami dripper, so we're gonna do a pour over coffee.
Oh.
We're gonna freshly grind the beans that we've roasted in-house. Then you get to taste the coffee.
Yes.
My
go
day
ahead.
hasn't started yet, can I just say?
We were actually waiting for
you.
this.
We're so
Yeah,
excited. This
we
has
were.
been the highlight. Like, yes, coffee.
Can you tell us more about your the brewing concepts?
Okay, so what we have here, we have three different types of coffee beans. So we have a blend.
Okay.
This is our Commune blend. When you say blend, we combine different types of beans to come up with something maybe unique to us or a certain flavor profile that we want. So this is the Commune blend. And then we've got two single origins, meaning it comes from a very specific location.
Okay.
One from Atok, Benguet. This is 100% Arabica. And another one is from Mount Calatungan in Bukidnon. So these are all coffees grown in the Philippines that we roast in-house in Commune.
So
How would you describe the taste of Philippine coffee?
Wow. It's really varied depending on the origin you're getting it from, how you roast it, and definitely how you prepare it. But in general, our coffees have a very gentle acidity. It's not something that sort of like jars you in terms of like its fruitiness and acidity. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
Some chocolate notes as well.
And I think there's a misconception when people say Philippine coffee, they think Barako, right? Like
Yes.
automatically,
Yeah,
but I
it's
don't think...
just Barako.
Right, that's
Yeah.
what people
type
think.
of Philippine coffee.
Well, we're one of the few coffee producing countries in the world that produces 4 species of coffee. We have Robusta, we have Excelsa, Arabica, and Liberica.
Yeah.
Liberica technically is what is known as Barako.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's gotten so popular, it's so tied up to our culture, so that when people say Philippine coffee, they equate it to Barako right
Barako,
away.
yes.
But we have Barako and so much more.
All right.
excited.
So I'm excited.
Ross is gonna brew for
yeah,
us this
if
morning.
we get us started.
Okay.
Well,
that's
I
what
can
we're gonna do.
definitely still talk while we're brewing.
Yes,
I'm
of
gonna
course, of
talk you
course.
through the process as well. I'm going to
Perfect.
start with 100% Arabica from Atok. I like starting with this, especially in the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find that this flavor is most familiar to you because a lot of our coffees do come from Benguet. And this will be very gentle, nice and chocolatey. The acidity is sort of like, I say a ripe citrus because it's not super high on the
Not very
acidity.
acidic.
It's still very gentle.
My question is, how can you really taste the flavors of coffee? Because some people might not know how to extract those notes or really appreciate those notes when they taste coffee.
Okay, if you're just sort of starting out in paying really close attention to what
Yeah.
your coffee tastes like, I'd say you really start from just paying attention. It's really just sipping it and thinking, the bag says chocolate. Is there really a flavor there that reminds me of chocolate? And it's this whole process of really getting to know your palate and flavors and all that. But don't let the notes on the bag stress you out. You don't have to find all those flavors right away. We like to put it in the bag. It's sort of like, as a roaster, these are the flavors that I believe you will get from this bag. These are the flavors that I love to extract from this kind of coffee. And hopefully, you experience it the same way.
So what are the notes again of the ones we're trying? So we've got chocolate?
Yes, this one is milk chocolate.
And calamansi.
But I say
Calamansi?
ripe calamansi. So
Wow,
like a
okay.
sweeter kind of calamansi. Okay?
So we're gonna taste that acidic note.
Very gentle
Very
though,
gentle
very gentle.
Okay.
I'm heating up water here and I'm grinding the coffee.
It smells
this
so
is
good
freshly
already.
ground. And that's one thing. When you do start brewing at home, grinding it fresh really elevates the experience right away.
Right.
Because you already experience the aromas and you're extracting it, making it really fresh.
How about the water temperature? Is there like a particular temperature that we need to get
Yes.
to get the right taste?
You know, it gets geeky, you get to play around with it.
I know.
But a rule of thumb is you don't use it right after it's boiled.
Okay.
Because the heat really draws out the bitterness that is natural to coffee. It's caffeine that makes coffee bitter. Of course, if you roast it a bit too dark, then it's more apparent.
Yeah.
But your water, I heated this to 93 degrees Celsius so that if you were to boil water, you just let it rest a bit. It's not super duper hot. It's not scalding.
Yeah. So Ros, I think we have to get started with the process, but we can show everyone
Yes, please.
how it would be.
Paolo's like,
Yeah,
I
I'm so excited.
It really is like
I don't mind to rush the process, right?
the coffee.
Yeah, but when you take a look at that, because you mentioned how geeky it could be.
Nice.
From what I understand, it could get geeky to the point that the quality of water is considered.
They use like
Yes.
special water sometimes, right?
Some will really, buy distilled
Parang
water and
alkalized
then
kailangan.
buy their minerals and all that. But, you don't have to. I mean, it can get as simple and as complicated as you want it to be. So it really depends on you. But it's like super early in the morning, so I want to keep it simple.
Agreed.
So my rule of thumb for water, and the rule of thumb really for brewing is just don't use distilled water.
Don't use distilled
Yes.
water.
Not
Distilled
distilled
water
water.
is going to make your coffee taste flat.
Yeah.
Because there are no minerals whatsoever.
No, coffee is so complicated. There's so
I know
much behind
it is.
it.
So
the
if you-
process of brewing it.
If you use filtered water at home or like your mineral water or natural drinking water,
That's
that's perfect. That's perfect. That's a good place to start. So I've ground the coffee already. I put it in my paper filter. The paper filter I've rinsed. I've thrown that out. I'm gonna put that aside.
Yeah.
Are you weighing it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
I'm weighing it just so I know I don't put too much water or too little.
Okay.
If you're brewing it at home and you don't have a scale, this is something you can eyeball and sort of get used to. But if
Okay.
you do have a scale, it makes it more replicable for you.
Yeah.
Now, Ross, while you're doing the pour over, can you take us back? How did you fall in love with coffee?
Oh wow, started a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm so curious.
Okay,
Wait, she's doing her math right now. She's watching.
She's concentrating for a while.
Okay, what's on her feet?
So I got started with coffee. Well, my first cup, I think I was about 13. We were on a family trip in Italy, and then we had an espresso. And my dad was like, look how they have espresso at the bar. They're just standing up and just really chugging it. And, it's super duper fast. And well, that's why it's called espresso.
Kaya pala.
Espresso. We learned something
Espresso
today.
really fast. And in Italy, if you sit down, you spend more. You pay for the table. So everyone just standing at the bar and all that. So of course, I had to try it because it looked so sophisticated.
Yeah.
I sipped it and I'm like,
Because espresso is normally bitter.
and it's very, very potent,
very
right?
strong, yeah.
But then, I guess that's what got me interested in coffee. Why are all these people doing this in the morning? Why beeline for coffee and everything? And then I ended up working with a coffee company. My aunt, who's also in coffee, was really the one who influenced me. So I worked summers with her and everything. Until finally, in 2013, I had the opportunity to put up my own cafe.
Yeah. Well, now talking about Commune, because obviously Commune, the word itself means basically to gather people, it means a community and all of that. So how, normally when you think of coffee shops, it normally is a community, but then what makes Commune special with regards to community farming?
Well, one is we really open ourselves up to communities. We host a lot of meetups, a lot of events. We really design the space to accommodate groups of people. We have communal tables so that strangers can sit and then leave the cafe knowing each other, or like we can accommodate big groups. But aside from that, the other community aspect of Commune is that we really work directly with the coffee producers. So these coffees that we're serving you now, we have actually met the producers who planted this, who sorted these beans, who processed it, and we've worked with them in improving the quality of their coffee as well.
All right, so for those wondering why not much progress is happening, we are actually heating the water to the right
Yes.
temperature.
Right temp, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, right temperature. Make sure that
And
it's
it's
not
almost
just
there.
off the boil. So medyo complicated. It takes time. But then
Patience
because
is a
it takes
virtue.
time, it really,
Yes.
you mentioned how replicable it could be.
So I mean, in the morning, this is a whole ritual.
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
sort of, some people meditate in the morning and people like me.
You go on morning shows and then you make coffee.
Yeah.
And I have to concentrate because, morning. But I mean, it's really all part of the process. And it's a whole experience. I mean, you hear the grinding of the coffee, you smell it from the
Yeah.
moment you ground it. And even now that you're brewing it,
And
it's
it's
a whole
so
different
amazing to
experience.
watch. I mean, this is not how we make our coffee in the morning. Definitely not. This is
But-
something extra special.
Yes, but this is also how you can prepare it at home. I'm gonna serve it to you I brought some cups.
Your cups are adorable. The ceramics are cute.
They're made especially for us.
Oh,
so
really?
I'll serve it in these cups. Only because sometimes, paper cups, you still get that papery taste
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it. So I want you guys to have like your morning
Commune
cup today.
experience.
Love
the whole
it.
Commune
Yes.
experience.
This is why
I
you're
brought
here.
it to you, yeah. So it takes a bit of time. The entire process really, if you do this at home, takes anywhere from like, with prepping and everything, about 5 to 7 minutes.
Well, that's not too bad. Is this
Yeah.
like the fastest way, quote unquote, to do coffee, or espresso pulling is still the quickest?
Ish.
I guess they're all complicated.
Yeah, I mean, espresso, the process itself is faster because, you extract your coffee in less than 30
Right,
seconds.
right.
But then there's a whole maintenance to the machine and everything.
Actually,
So
yeah.
with the whole cleanup thing, this is actually kind of
The
easier.
faster, yeah, yeah.
You just chuck your filter over here, or, you put it on your compost, your coffee grinds, and then you get rid of your filter. And
So-
then rinse, and you're good.
Oh, can you smell that?
It smells amazing.
Perfect. Wakes you up in the morning.
So I'm gonna pour a little.
So you use 100% Filipino coffee,
Yes.
right? Can you tell us more about your bag to bean story? Or bean to bag. I got that.
Yeah.
Wrong. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Right.
so excited.
There you
You
go.
can
Oh.
just grab your cup here.
Mo?
Thank you. Here, I'll get it.
All right, so we're going to wrap things up here as we have our first sip of coffee. So actually, the show will get a lot better from this point on. Kasi magigising
we
na
have our
You're
kami.
gonna get
Now.
peppier.
It smells
get
amazing.
peppier,
You should
but,
just be here every day, Miss Ross.
Well, we can arrange that.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
This is amazing.
Sorry. But yeah.
oh,
no,
it tastes
Ross,
like the ripe calamansi and the chocolate.
It's milder than maybe some
Wow.
black
Yes.
coffees you've
Yes.
had. And that's one of the things with the pour over coffee. It's a bit gentler, cleaner,
It's smooth.
smoother.
And it's not as acidic or bitter.
Absolutely. And it destroys actually what people perceive as just what coffee tastes like.
Yes.
It's more complicated, more
Yes, it
diverse.
doesn't always have to be bitter.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can drink it black if you prepare it this way. It's a good way to introduce people to black coffee. And then as the more you maybe prepare coffee at home or enjoy black coffee and start tasting different kinds of coffees and sort of paying more attention to what you're drinking, then you get a deeper appreciation of the differences between them.
Yeah, this is like a hug and a mug.
Oh, thank you,
I just want like a
Ross.
whole gallon
Ross,
of
we
this.
really appreciate you.
you.
Thank you so much for waking us up. Again, the show will get better from this point on because of
Yep.
Ross. So maraming salamat.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for
of
having
course,
me.
you can check out Commune as well. Check out their social media. And of course, check it out in Poblacion in Makati. Maraming salamat again. Thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
here.